Imagine a world where the forces of Gondor and the mighty dwarves unite in a battle for Middle-earth. But wait, why didn't the dwarves join the fight in the War of the Ring? Let's uncover the hidden reasons behind their absence and delve into the untold story that shaped the fate of this epic conflict.
I'll split his pretty head open! See if he's still smirking then!
Get ready for a journey that will shed light on the mysteries of Middle-earth. In the epic saga of J.R.R. and Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, the forces of Middle-earth faced the ultimate test of survival against the dark power of Sauron. Yet in the chaos of the great battles and heroic deeds, one question remains unanswered. Why didn't the dwarves fight alongside Gondor in the War of the Ring? To understand this, we must dive into the intricate tapestry of Middle-earth's history and the challenges faced by its diverse people. Join us as we uncover the reasons behind the absence of dwarven aid in Gondor's time of need. Dwarves are a proud and determined people. They cherish their homes and communities above all else. As Gimli once said, the dwarves of Erebor are not to be lightly moved. They are proud and strong-willed. This strong sense of pride and loyalty runs deep in their culture. For generations, dwarves have focused on safeguarding their own lands and riches, rather than meddling in the affairs of other kingdoms. In the grand halls of Erebor and other dwarven strongholds, councils of elders and leaders gather to discuss matters of importance to their people. Their uncompromising dedication to the safety and well-being of their realms provides the foundation for their decisions. Dwarven warriors spend countless hours perfecting their combat skills, preparing to defend their homes against any threat that may arise. Their readiness for battle is a testament to their unwavering dedication to the safety of their people. In essence, the dwarves' priorities lie within their own borders. Their focus is on fortifying their cities, mining their riches, and ensuring the well-being of their kin. This dedication to their own realm sets them apart in the tapestry of Middle-earth's history. To understand the dwarves' stance during the War of the Ring, we must first dive into the events of The Hobbit, a pivotal moment in dwarven history. It all began with a knock on Bilbo Baggins' door. 13 dwarves, led by the determined Thorin Oakenshield, arrived seeking aid in their quest to reclaim Erebor, the Lonely Mountain, from the fearsome dragon Smaug. As they embarked on their journey, they faced countless challenges, from treacherous mountains to riddles in the dark. Along the way, they formed a bond with Bilbo Baggins, a hobbit unlikely to be caught up in such grand adventures. The climax of their quest culminated in the Battle of the Five Armies, where dwarves, elves, men, and other forces clashed in a struggle for dominance. Thorin Oakenshield, along with many others, fell in battle, but ultimately, Erebor was reclaimed. As Thorin lay on his deathbed, he spoke words of wisdom to Bilbo, acknowledging the importance of their shared journey. If more of us valued food and cheer and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world. The events of The Hobbit were a defining chapter in dwarven history. They proved their resilience and bravery in the face of hardship, reclaiming their homeland and forging new alliances. But as the War of the Ring loomed on the horizon, their priorities shifted once again. As the War of the Ring approached, Sauron, the Dark Lord, devised a cunning strategy to spread his influence and crush his enemies. While the main focus of the conflict was in the south, with Gondor and Rohan bearing the brunt of Sauron's assault, the northern realms were not spared from his wrath. Sauron knew that to achieve his goal of domination, he couldn't afford to ignore the elves of Lothlorien and Rivendell, nor the dwarves of Erebor and the men of Dale. Throughout the war, the dwarves of Erebor and the men of Dale faced relentless attacks from Sauron's armies. The Battle of Dale in particular was a pivotal moment in the conflict. As described in The Return of the King, the forces of Easterlings marched against the dwarves and men, led by King Dain Ironfoot and King Brand. The battle was fierce, with both sides fighting valiantly for their homes. This quote encapsulates the harsh reality facing the northern realms. Sauron's forces were already at their doorstep, leaving little room for the dwarves to intervene in battles far from home. As Legolas wisely observed, "I do not think that any dwarves would come. They have no need to ride to war. War already marches on their own lands." The dwarves of Erebor and the neighboring kingdom of Dale found themselves embroiled in a desperate struggle against the forces of Mordor. The Battle of Dale was not merely a clash of armies. It was a test of the indomitable spirit of the dwarves and men who called these lands their home. Led by King Dain Ironfoot and King Brand, they stood united against the dark forces threatening to engulf them. The battle raged on for days, with neither side willing to yield an inch of ground. The Easterlings, driven by the will of Sauron, launched wave after wave of relentless attacks, seeking to overwhelm the defenders of Dale and Erebor. King Dain Ironfoot, a steadfast leader known for his courage and resilience, inspired his fellow dwarves to fight with unmatched ferocity. Despite being outnumbered, they refused to falter in the face of adversity. King Brand, descendant of Bard the Bowman, proved himself a worthy successor to his legendary forebear. With valor and determination, he led the men of Dale in a valiant defense of their homeland. The Lonely Mountain itself was under siege by Mordor's soldiers while the war raged, aiming to destroy the final stronghold of Dwarven resistance. With every dwarf and man ready to make the ultimate sacrifice to protect their ancestral home, Erebor's destiny rested on their shoulders. The protectors of Dale and Erebor were driven to the verge of defeat in spite of their unwavering bravery. As the relentless attack continued, hope started to fade due to the enemy's seemingly infinite numbers. But a glimmer of hope broke through the darkness just when all seemed gone. Word had come in from the south, telling of Sauron's fall and his army's defeat at the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. With the tide of battle turned, the forces of Mordor were forced to retreat, their plans of conquest thwarted by the valor and determination of the dwarves and men of the north. The Battle of Dale stands as a testament to the resilience and courage of the northern realms. Though they may not have fought alongside Gondor and Rohan on the fields of Pelennor, the dwarves and men of Dale played a crucial role in the ultimate defeat of Sauron and the salvation of Middle-earth. The defense of their homelands took up all of the dwarves of Erebor and Dale's resources and attention, even while they battled bravely on the northern front. As Thorin Oakenshield once declared, "I will not risk the lives of my kin for the sake of others, however noble the cause may be." Thorin Oakenshield's words echoed the sentiments of many dwarves, who prioritized the safety and prosperity of their own people above all else. This unwavering loyalty to their kin and homeland defined the dwarven character throughout the ages. For the dwarves, their strongholds such as Erebor and the Lonely Mountain were not just places of dwelling. They were symbols of their heritage and legacy. Generations of dwarven craftsmen had poured their sweat and toil into constructing fortresses that stood as bastions against the engulfing darkness. Every dwarf, from the mightiest warrior to the lowliest miner, felt a deep sense of duty to defend their ancestral halls against any threat, no matter how dire. The bonds of family and kinship ran deep among the dwarves, fostering a fierce loyalty that transcended individual ambition or glory. In times of crisis, they stood united as one, ready to face whatever challenges came their way. Throughout the War of the Ring, the dwarves of Erebor and Dale demonstrated their loyalty in action, facing unimaginable hardships with courage and determination. They may not have marched to war alongside Gondor and Rohan, but their sacrifices and valor were no less significant in the struggle against Sauron's tyranny. In the end, it was this steadfast loyalty to their kin and homeland that ensured the survival of the dwarven race and secured their place in the history of Middle-earth. For the dwarves, there could be no greater honor than defending that which they held most dear. The dwarves' decision to prioritize the defense of their own realms, such as Erebor and Dale, was not born out of indifference or cowardice, but out of a deep-seated loyalty to their kin and a steadfast commitment to their ancestral homes. The dwarves of Erebor and Dale faced overwhelming odds with unshakable courage and determination, serving as safeguards against the darkness throughout the northern front of the conflict. Their courage in the face of difficulty was evidence of their people's unbreakable spirit. While the battles of Gondor and Rohan may have garnered the most attention, it was the combined efforts of all the free peoples of Middle-earth that ultimately led to Sauron's defeat. Each race, whether elf, man, or dwarf, played a vital role in thwarting the Dark Lord's ambitions. The dwarves of Erebor and Dale came out of the conflict scarred but unstoppable, their will unaffected by the hardships they had gone through. They faced the unknown with hope and courage, their honor intact and their homelands protected. The bonds forged during the War of the Ring would endure for generations to come, strengthening the ties between the peoples of Middle-earth and ensuring that the lessons learned from the conflict would never be forgotten. And so, as we reflect on the question of why the dwarves did not fight alongside Gondor in the War of the Ring, let us remember that their loyalty to their own kind and their unwavering commitment to their homes were the true pillars of their strength. In the face of darkness, they stood as beacons of hope, proving that courage and resilience know no bounds. And thus concludes our journey through the untold story of the dwarves in the War of the Ring. May their valor and sacrifice never be forgotten, and may the spirit of fellowship that united the free peoples of Middle-earth continue to shine brightly in the annals of history. We've reached the end of our journey through the mysteries of the dwarves' absence in the War of the Ring. But fear not, our adventure doesn't have to end here. If you're hungry for more captivating tales from Middle-earth, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Join our fellowship of fellow Tolkien enthusiasts and let's keep exploring together. Thanks for watching, and until our next epic quest, stay tuned and keep the magic alive.